The tornado began in rural Tuscaloosa County at 7:42 p.m. Central Daylight Time, entering Jefferson County shortly after, producing F1 damage. However, within minutes, the tornado strengthened to F3 intensity as it entered Oak Grove, destroying a high school and fire station. 3 people were killed as the tornado destroyed a mobile home. The tornado then intensified further to F5 intensity as it impacted the town of Rock Creek, where many homes were destroyed or swept away. 11 people were killed here. The tornado struck 2 power transmission lines just to the east, cutting off power to western Birmingham. The tornado then weakened before striking the town of Sylvan Springs at F4 intensity, where more homes were destroyed and 4 were killed. Shortly thereafter, the tornado intensified to F5 once again, striking the communities of Edgewater and McDonald Chapel. The tornado killed 14 people in this area, with multiple homes being swept away. It then began to weaken as it left McDonald Chapel, entering northern Birmingham at F3 intensity shortly after, causing substantial damage to homes in the Pratt City neighborhood. The tornado would then lift a few miles to the east of Birmingham International Airport, 3 miles, 4.8 kilometers, north of Interstate 20 along Highway. Meteorological synopsis. Edit. Storm. A highly unstable atmospheric environment was present over the Deep South on April 8, 1998. A strong jet stream was active, and a cyclonic system, low-pressure system, was moving northeast from Iowa to southern Minnesota. At the same time, a weather disturbance from Texas was moving east into eastern Texas. High winds, over 120 knots, in the upper atmosphere were affecting north-central Texas on the evening of April 7th and moving into the lower Mississippi Valley by the evening of April 8th. In the middle atmosphere, about 700 to 500 MB, a strong weather front was developing over the southern plains in the morning and moved east into the lower Mississippi Valley by the evening. There was a dry punch in the southwest flow, a dry air mass, moving over southern Louisiana and southwestern Alabama in the evening. Closer to the ground, warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico was being pushed northward by south winds, causing temperatures and dew points to rise throughout the southeastern U.S. Weather observations. Due to the conditions model showed for April 8th, weather observations at the Shelby County Airport, south of Birmingham, Alabama, showed that the atmosphere became more unstable throughout the day. By 6 p.m. UTC, the available energy for thunderstorms, CAPE, was 1,300 J/kg and increased to 2,370 J/kg by midnight. A very dry layer of air above 700 MB caused a steep temperature decrease with height, indicating instability. Storm rotation, helicity. Values increased from 55 to 220 m superscript 2/s superscript 2 between 6 p.m. and midnight, and the next forecast model predicted even higher helicity values in northern Alabama. In the lower levels of the atmosphere, wind shear increased from 18 to 26 meters per second, 35 to 50 knots, between 6 p.m. and midnight. Due to the conditions model showed for April 8th, the Storm Prediction Center issued a high risk for severe thunderstorms across northern Mississippi, Alabama, and northwest Georgia that lasted the entire outlook cycle. At 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time on April 8th, the SPC issued the first tornado watch for northern and central Mississippi and northern and central Alabama, which was valid until 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Multiple more tornado watches were issued at 7:30 p.m., 7:30, 6 p.m., and 1:15 a.m. respectively. 2, 3. Tornado Summary. Edit. Tuscaloosa County. Edit. Satellite image of the tornado track through eastern Tuscaloosa County. A high precipitation supercell formed along the Mississippi-Alabama border and quickly became tornadic, producing an F3 tornado which tracked through rural areas north of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The parent supercell then cycled and produced the Oak Grove, Birmingham tornado in eastern Tuscaloosa County at 7:42 p.m. Central Daylight Time, around 1.5 miles east of the Warrior River. At 7:45 p.m. a tornado warning was issued for Jefferson County. The tornado produced F0 damage to structures, destroying 1,000 acres of forest during its track through Tuscaloosa County. 6. The tornado struck the community of Bull City before crossing into Jefferson County shortly after. 574. Oak Grove. Edit. Oak Grove High School after the tornado. At 7:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time, the tornado entered Jefferson County at F0 intensity. However, within minutes of entering Jefferson County, the tornado quickly intensified to F3 strength as the tornado entered the community of Oak Grove. The tornado destroyed a mobile home with 4 occupants inside, only one of which survived. Oak Grove High School was struck shortly after, where a cheerleader squad consisting of 25 people were practicing in the school's gymnasium when the tornado hit. hit. All 25 sheltered in the school's lobby, which was the only part of the school to avoid collapse as the support beams bent from the center over the lobby, shielding it from debris. Debris consisting of metal lockers, concrete blocks, bleachers, and other materials littered the gymnasium floor, sometimes up to 3 feet, 0.91 meters, deep. All 25 cheerleaders sustained minor injuries. The tornado then destroyed the Eastern Concord Fire Station in Oak Grove as it crossed County Road 23/54. 8, 6, 5, 7, 4. Rock Creek and Sylvan Springs. Edit. F4 damage in Sylvan Springs. The tornado intensified and grew in size as it crossed Warrior River Road into Rock Creek, reaching F5 intensity for the first time as it damaged or destroyed multiple homes. The Central Concord Volunteer Fire Station was also destroyed. The Rock Creek Church of God's Family Life Center had its roof torn off, becoming a makeshift trauma center in the wake of the tornado to treat the injured. 11 people were killed in Rock Creek as multiple homes were swept clean by winds in excess of 260 miles per hour, 420 kilometers per hour. 3. After exiting Rock Creek, the tornado toppled large power transmission lines from the Miller Steam Plant electric generating station north of Rock Creek. The resulting power surge caused the western side of Birmingham to lose all power, captured on live television on the ABC 3340 tower camera as meteorologist James Spann was covering the tornado. 9. The tornado then weakened slightly as it entered Sylvan Springs, where multiple additional homes in the area would be destroyed at F4 intensity, killing an additional 4 people. The tornado tracked through mostly rural areas after leaving Sylvan Springs, although a few homes north of Pleasant Grove were destroyed. 5, 7, 4. Edgewater and McDonald Chapel. Edit. Damage in McDonald Chapel. After tracking through mostly rural areas past Sylvan Springs, the tornado struck the community of Edgewater, causing very erratic damage as some homes received light damage, while others along the block were completely destroyed. The tornado then intensified to F5 strength once again as it entered McDonald Chapel, sweeping multiple homes off their foundations and destroying countless more as it tracked through the town. At the Open Door Baptist Church in McDonald Chapel, 67 people were gathered for Wednesday night prayer meeting. The church received a warning about the incoming tornado around 15 minutes prior to the tornado striking the church, causing everyone to shelter in one long hallway. As the tornado struck the church, the roof and multiple exterior walls collapsed, while the hallway the churchgoers were gathered in remained intact, protecting the lives of all 67 people, though multiple sustained injuries when flying debris struck like missiles. Multiple cars in the church's parking lot were picked up and tossed into a nearby ravine. In both Edgewater and McDonald Chapel, 13 people were killed. 1, 8, 6, 5, 7, 4. Birmingham. Edit. F3 damage to apartment buildings in Sandusky. After tracking through McDonald Chapel, the tornado crossed Alabama 269 into Birmingham. The tornado killed an additional person as it struck the neighborhood of West Ensley. The supercell then detached from the outflow boundary around this time, and the tornado began to weaken. Having weakened to F3 intensity, the tornado entered the neighborhoods of Sandusky and North Pratt. The tornado removed the roof from apartment buildings in Sandusky and destroyed more homes in North Pratt. Shortly after, at around 8:28 p.m., the tornado dissipated in the neighborhood of Pratt City. The tornado traveled 30.6 miles, 49.2 kilometers, and lasted an hour and 26 minutes on the ground. 1, 6, 8, 5, 7, 4. Aftermath. Edit. Damages. Edit. 608 homes were destroyed, 556 sustained major damage, and another 810 sustained minor damage according to an analysis by the American Red Cross. The U.S. Forest Service estimated that 1,000 acres of timber were lost in Tuscaloosa County, and a further 4,000 were lost in Jefferson County, with trees being debarked so badly that they reflected in the moonlight. The tornado caused $202.83 million, $1,998 in damages, and 32 people were killed, with most being in Rock Creek, Edgewater and McDonald Chapel, and injured a further 259, 16, 10, 5, 4. Historical retrospective. Edit. At the time, the Oak Grove, Birmingham F5 tornado was the 7th deadliest in Alabama state history and the worst tornado in Alabama since the Marion, Alabama F4 during the 1932 Deep South tornado outbreak. Since then, 2 other tornadoes have caused more deaths, with the 2011 Hacklebug, Phil Campbell F5 killing 72, and the 2011 Tuscaloosa, Birmingham F4 killing 64, the latter of which affected some of the same areas as the Oak Grove, Birmingham F5. 1. Safety report and subsequent findings. Edit. In a quick response report published in 1999, the recommendations in the report noted that NOAA weather radios were not heavily used even during times of severe weather, noting that efforts to make weather radios more available and efforts to teach about its utility and benefits needed to continue. 8. In the same report, it was noted that tornado sirens were inconsistently and ineffectively used despite their availability, and that federal authorities needed to examine their standardization. Policies. 8. A major finding was that tornado shelters were not available to a majority of people along the tornado's path, with survivors stating that they wanted shelters but could not afford them. 8. The report also noted that insurance policies were a significant factor in slowing down rebuilding efforts, as they did not reward policyholders for investing in wind-resistant methods such as foundation anchors or hurricane clips. 8.